Hello and welcome to episode 14 of the Christian Life Coach podcast, where we talk all things transformation through the renewing of our minds and what that looks like in real life, in real time. I am Shanna, your Christian Life Coach. And today we are talking about something that comes up in every single coaching session that I am in for myself and also for any and all of my clients. And it is self-talk. The way that we talk to ourselves matters. That is just the truth. It matters so much more than even what other people say to us. We have a continuous dialogue going on in our minds all the time. And we typically repeat the same things over and over and over to ourselves. And so much of our experience of life, if not all, our motivation, how we feel, the actions that we take, it all comes back to what we're thinking and what we are believing, what we're telling ourselves over and over. And a lot of the things that we're telling ourselves are not true and or are not helpful. Things like, I'm just lazy. I can never accomplish that. I never stick with anything. I always start strong and then I give up. I'm a lost cause. This is just the way that I'm in. This is just the way that I am. This is just who I am. It's just always been this way. I'm not going to be able to change. And the thing is, some of those things, they feel like they're true. But I want to tell you today, what I want to talk about today is how to filter our thoughts through two questions. Is this true? And is this helpful? And really, it's one question. Let's be honest. It is one question. Is this thought true and helpful? Not just true, because things can feel true and not be helpful. They can be factually true and not be helpful. And if it's not true, we don't want to lie to ourselves. So we just don't want to lie to ourselves, right? That doesn't help at all. So if it's a lie, it's also not helpful. But it can be true and not helpful. It could be true that I have not been a morning person, but is it helpful to tell myself, continuously think about all the reasons that I'm not a morning person if I ultimately want to become a morning person? Telling myself all the reasons I'm not one, like they could be true, but are they helpful in order to help me to do the thing that I want to do? No, they are not. And we can think things that are helpful. Maybe they're not necessarily true, but we would like them to be true. And that you can kind of get into the gray area of toxic positivity. We don't want to just blow sunshine, from hidden places or into hidden places. We want truth with love. We want true and helpful. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about how to recognize those thoughts that are sabotaging our progress and how to reframe them in a way that is loving and brings freedom, momentum, peace, helps us to reach the goals and become the people that we want to be. So the way that we talk to ourselves, it matters. I love Craig Groeschel, and I should have looked it up, but Craig Groeschel says something to the effect of our lives flow in the direction of our strongest thoughts. Those things that we're thinking on repeat that we believe, that is the direction that our lives go. We think thoughts, We have emotions, and our emotions drive our actions. So the way that we think determines the actions that we take. So every thought that we think in some way shapes our life. It's creating emotions, it's driving our actions, and this just happens whether we're recognizing it or not. This is how our lives go. So one of the most powerful tools that I really do use with my clients is the question, is this thought true and helpful? Not just true, not just helpful, but both. Is this thought true? And is this thought helpful? And we're going to get into some examples. So some thoughts that we think that could be true are, I overate. I screwed up. The number on the scale went up. I spent too much money. I overspent this month. I'm bad with money. This house is a disaster. I hate cleaning. All of those thoughts can be true and can be a trap, can be a downward spiral. We can spiral on those things that are true, but is it really helpful to think over and over again, I overate, I screwed up, the scale is up, I'm never going to be able to do this, I keep overspending, I'm terrible with money, this house is a disaster, I hate cleaning. Like, all of that can feel true. And is it helpful? Is thinking any of those thoughts on repeat going to help me to make better eating choices, to stop eating when I'm satisfied, to save money and become a person that is good with money, that can be trusted with money, that is going to clean the house so that it's not a mess? So we want to think thoughts that are true, and then we also want them to be helpful. We want them to be, these helpful thoughts need to be rooted in reality and feel possible, but not Susie Sunshine. So I'm bad with money and overweight doesn't change to I'm a millionaire and I wear size 6. That's just fantasy, right? So we can bridge our thoughts by reframing them. Instead of I'm bad with money, it can be I overspent and I'm learning how to manage my money. I'm working on getting better at managing my money. So thinking through, reframing our thoughts, some common thoughts that we have that are either not true or not helpful. So when you're thinking about trying to reach a goal, a money goal, a weight loss goal, a fitness goal, a cleaning out your house goal, whatever this goal is, and you tell yourself, I'm not going to even start because I always quit. And the evidence can show that you in fact have not ever stuck to a diet plan or a way of eating and continued on. The fact can be that you have lost weight in the past and you have gained it back. And you can focus on that, or you can reframe it and tell yourself, I have given up in the past and I'm learning how to stay committed this time. I'm doing it in a way that feels better, that I can sustain. I'm doing this in a way that I want to live my life this time. You can think, I've tried everything, nothing's going to work. And maybe things haven't worked in the past, but is it helpful to tell yourself that nothing is going to work? And even, is it true? Right? It's not true. And have you actually tried everything? It can feel true that you've tried everything. You may have tried a lot of things, but chances are you have not tried everything. So you can reframe, I've tried everything, and you can remind yourself, I've tried a lot of things, and that means I'm really determined and I'm really focused on finding the solution to this problem. I want to find a sustainable solution and make progress on this. Some other examples are, just an emotional eater. I eat to comfort myself. I'm just an emotional eater. It's the way I am. And you can reframe that. I've used food to comfort myself, and now I'm learning a new way to do this. I'm learning to feel my emotions and eat for hunger. Another one is, I'm just not disciplined. I'm just not disciplined enough to do whatever. And you can reframe that by thinking, I just haven't been consistent yet, but I'm working on showing up for myself in love, not perfection. I'm starting where I'm at. I'm committing to what I'm willing to do consistently, and I'm doing it from a place of love. I'm learning to be more disciplined. It's too late for me. That can feel true. Any of these can feel true, right? But are they helpful? It's too late for me. Is that true? No, it's not. If you're still alive, it is not too late for you. You can remind yourself, it might take time, but it's not too late to start taking care of myself. It's not too late to declutter my house. It's not too late to start saving money. So for your own situation, I encourage you, pay attention to the thoughts that you're thinking, especially those ones that are on repeat that you catch yourself saying. And after listening to this episode, I imagine you will find some of these thoughts. Write down that thought that feels so true and ask yourself, is this thought true and is it helpful? And if it's not both, then how can I reframe it into a way that is both true and helpful? So question your thoughts. Is this really true? Like, it feels true that I'm never going to be able to lose weight and keep it off. That feels true. But is it true? Like, is it actually possible to do that? Well, some people have done it, so it has to be possible, right? And what would be a way to make that true thought, it is possible to lose weight and keep it off, and helpful? I can figure it out. If it's possible, then I can figure it out. If it's possible for somebody else, it's possible for me. And this is all part of being transformed by renewing our mind. We're paying attention. We're thinking on purpose. The Bible says, take every thought captive to the obedience of Christ. Philippians 4:8 says, think on these things: true, lovely, noble, praiseworthy, admirable, and some other words that I can't remember right this moment. So it's about reframing our minds, or reframing our thoughts by renewing our minds, being transformed. And I've also heard it said that renewing your mind rewires your brain. This is neuroplasticity. We are teaching our brain how to think in a new way, in a way that thinks thoughts that are true and also helpful, in order for us to become the people that we want to be. So I hope this has been helpful for you. I hope that you will think about this as you go throughout your week, as you go throughout your days. Pay attention to what you're thinking. And it's usually you're trying to convince yourself that you can't do something, that you're not able to do it, that it's not for you, that you don't deserve it, that there's just no way, it's for other people. So pay attention to those thoughts that are trying to talk you out of taking positive action. Our thoughts are powerful. They're not just background noise. Even if you're not aware and paying attention to them, those negative thoughts are having an impact on your life. They're shaping how you feel and shaping how you show up and the actions that you're taking. And that is, like, it's actually fabulous news, because you can start tuning in and paying attention and asking yourself, is this way I'm thinking true and is it helpful? Because if it's not, then I want to start reframing these thoughts and start thinking in a way that creates the emotion that drives me to take the action that I want to be taking, that's going to get me the results that I want to achieve. So I'm going to link in the show notes a worksheet that you can use to help you identify these thoughts and work through them and transform or renew those thoughts into thoughts that are true and helpful. And this is how you are becoming the woman that God created you to be, one renewed thought at a time. Thank you so much. If this episode was encouraging to you, please take a moment wherever you're listening or watching, leave a review, subscribe, share it with on social media, share it with a friend that you think might appreciate this information. Remember, life coaching is life changing, one renewed thought at a time. Thank you.